What is up, console superstars, and how are you all doing? I'm hoping you guys are all having, if not going to have, a favorable day and night. As you guys can see, we are 7-12. Our last 10 was 3-7. At home, we're 7-1. Away, we are 0-11. So that's a very interesting statistic, because that means that we just can't win any away games. Now, what I'm showing you guys right here is me basically taking away some minutes, adding some minutes to some players, and something very interesting that I'm doing here that you guys might not have caught on to is that I'm actually making Isaiah Whitehead the starting point guard. He's been playing pretty well lately, so I decided, hey, why not give him a chance to actually prove himself. Hollis Thompson, unfortunately, has been a little bit cold, so we're going to strip him down of a couple of minutes and actually give them to NATO and see what happens when the team gets basically a new starting point guard. Let's see if we can take some W's, especially away, because that is what's been hurting us the most. The first team we face are going to be the Orlando Magic, and before we do anything of that sort, we are going to look at the prospects that we decided to scout, and we got them all at around 66% in terms of scouting, which is pretty good for us. So what we're going to do is just complete the 100% and get it over with. If you ask me, I think that's the best decision. Now, when we look in terms of DE rank, the majority of the prospects are actually like point guards and shooting guards, etc. So maybe I want to actually go ahead and start looking at, let's say, some power forwards and some other positions that we might actually need. So I'm actually going to start stripping down the shooting guards a little bit, because we do have Buddy Hield, but then again, you have to keep your mind open in terms of getting somebody better than Buddy Hield. So I actually went back down and selected a couple of more shooting guards just because. Alright, so the head scout got 8 more trusts. We are playing away, so we're 0-11 away. So this team is probably like, hey, this is an easy victory. I mean, these guys can't win a game for their lives away, and it looks like it's still the case, considering we weren't able to win the first quarter, but it looks like it's a back and forth matchup in the second quarter. But the third quarter goes in, and it's still a back and forth matchup. But in the fourth quarter, our offense just decides to slow down, and we get blown out big time in the fourth quarter. So let's look at the box score. Buddy Hield, 17 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 4 for 18. That's horrible. Thompson, 11 points, 1 assist, 3 for 3. Azelli, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. Sullinger, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 turnovers. Whitehead went 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. He went 2 for 4, so that wasn't such a bad night. Williams went 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 for 8, so that was horrible as well. Then Beasley shot 2 for 7, which was horrible. Joakim Noah had pretty good stats, making 5 points, or shooting 2 for 5 with 5 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of assists right there. So the next team we're going to face is the Dallas Mavericks. And now, guys, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I did say in free agency that LeBron James actually decided to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. So that's exactly who we are playing. We are playing LeBron James in the Dallas Mavericks. And before we do anything else, it looks like we are going to be adding a little bit more minutes to Hollis Thompson. And the reason for that is Kyle Anderson has gotten cold. And when a player gets cold, basically, we got to put the hotter player in to basically get more minutes. So I'm going to give Hollis Thompson around 29 minutes and see basically what he can do, or as many minutes as I possibly can. We're not going to strip Isaiah Whitehead down of any minutes in general, because we want him to be the starting point guard, at least for now. I want him to be able to prove himself and just showcase to us what he is capable of doing. We're going to add the 3 remaining minutes right now to Hollis Thompson, and hopefully he can have a good game and remain as the starting small forward. But I do want Ryan Anderson to keep getting burned, because we do need him in the starting lineup in general. And it looks like we're having a back and forth matchup against the Dallas Mavericks, which is pretty good. We took the first quarter away from them, and it looks like the second quarter was a back and forth matchup, but they beat us by 6. And the third quarter, it looks like they're taking the lead there as well. So finishing out the game, they managed to close us out big time, and it looks like we weren't able to beat LeBron James, and we have fallen to 7-2 at home. So 19 points for Buddy Hield, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 5 for 20 shooting. That is horrible. Then Williams went 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 5 for 9 shooting. Isaiah Whitehead, 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 for 11 shooting. That's another horrible statistics. or statistic in general. Sullinger, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. That's pretty good. Beasley, 7.6 rebounds is pretty good as well. Our centers actually do a pretty good job at distributing the ball and just getting rebounds and scoring points as well as steals and blocks. Like Joakim Noah, Ezeli, and Sullinger, they are just our rebound, assist, steals, and blocks. Maybe they lead that, all three of them in general. So we're going to simulate through date, and the reason we're doing this is because we are trying to see when our Harrison Barnes is going to actually come back, because we need him as fast as possible, and we get Sean Livingston actually back. So as soon as we get Sean Livingston back, I decide that we're going to actually bring him in as the starting point guard, because he was our starting point guard when the season began, and I don't feel like disrespecting the veteran. I think he has what it takes and could definitely use all the minutes that he is basically asked for or told or suggested in general. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to strip down the power forward of all the minutes he had available to him, and we're going to give Sean Livingston 27 minutes and just fill out everybody else nicely to how many minutes they believe they should be getting. And we are going to make Nato basically be getting the minutes right now. I don't know whether or not I want to keep Isaiah Whitehead on the reserved list or actually bring him into the top 13, but for right now I'm thinking, hey, why not give this team a chance right now? But we're actually going to strip these guys down of a couple of minutes, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want Isaiah Whitehead to still be able to get some burn right here. So we're going to put the power forward that was just getting some minutes, we're going to put him on the bench. No, exactly, we're going to put Holiday on the bench. And the reason we're putting Holiday on the bench instead of the power forward is because Holiday has lower overall in general. So it's saying give less minutes to Isaiah Whitehead, but I'm not going to do that because I'm feeling like he should get some burn and just showcase what he got, but also because we have 2 point guards that were recently injured. I wanted to make sure that we have a 3-man rotation in the point guard spot, just like we do in the center spot, and it looks like a low-scoring game in which we weren't able to do anything, and they actually blew us out towards the end of the game. 95-70 is your final score, so we are not doing what it takes to actually do pretty well in terms of offense, I want to say. So 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 for 13 for Michael Beasley. Or Marvin Beasley. No, I'm pretty sure it's Michael Beasley. Then Sean Livingston, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 for 15. Williams, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, and a block. And he shot 3 for 10. So not a good shooting night for our team in general, especially when Buddy Hield only ends up with 7 points. But he had good all-around statistics as well as Isaiah Whitehead. Unfortunately, he did shoot 1 for 5, but he did have 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, which is pretty good. And Sullinger, once again, I do repeat, these guys just get a bunch of rebounds, assists, and steals, and that was actually the 5th straight loss. So I didn't even notice that until now, that we have actually lost 5 straight games. I'm going to take the blame for it, even though I feel like it's a little bit on the players because we have been getting a bunch of them injured. So maybe it's on the staff, not really the players, because the trainers should be doing one heck of a job to prevent them from getting injured. Harrison Barnes is back into the lineup, so now we feel pretty good because we got our starting small forward back, and he's not only an offensive threat, but he's also a defensive threat, and that's exactly what we want. So we got Williams getting a little bit of more minutes. We are going to strip down Jared Sullinger of a minute, add Ezeli some minutes, and take them away from Joakim Noah. And they want us to add about 6 more minutes to Kyle Anderson, but I'm thinking that this is a pretty good lineup in terms of minutes and everything in general. We got 3 healthy bars. Shooting guard is the only spot where we might need a little bit more of, let's say, minutes to players, but we are going to give Kyle Anderson the rest of the minutes and make Isaiah Whitehead the number 2, basically coming off the bench in terms of point guard, and take away all the minutes from Nato. So we are facing the Philadelphia 76ers. I was about to say the point guards, and we are facing them away. We took away the first quarter. We're taking away the second quarter, and this might be the first time that we take a W away. So this is feeling pretty good, but unfortunately the Philadelphia 76ers are fighting back, and they're continuing to fighting back. We're going into overtime, but it looks like we take the W in overtime. So Harrison Barnes has a career high 35 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 13 for 22, which is pretty good. Buddy Hield, 26 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 6 for 17, not that great. Sean Livingston, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 6 for 9. It's all right. Marvin Williams, 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist, 3 blocks, 5 for 12. So not a bad shooting night. We did pretty well. Isaiah Whitehead also did a pretty good job in terms of points, assists, steals, and he didn't get any rebounds, but I didn't really expect it, especially when you got Joakim Noah and Azeli and Sullinger combining each other for about 28 rebounds. You really don't expect to take the W right there. But we got one more game ahead of us in this episode, and that game is against the one and only Lakers. So once again, we're just checking the minutes out here and seeing who we should add some minutes to, take away some minutes to. I'm thinking of maybe bringing in a shooting guard or just keeping it a 3-man rotation in terms of, let's say, point guards, because I feel like having a 3-man rotation is a little bit more healthier. I also want to take away some of the minutes from the centers, even though I really like having the centers get a majority of the time, because they are basically the best players on our team, if you ask me. Besides Sullinger, Joakim Noah, and Azeli, out of them 3, I would say if we had to put them in terms of statistics, it would be Joakim Noah, the best center, then Sullinger, and then Azeli. And our top 3 players are them 3. And then following them 3, I would say it's Buddy Hield. And then after that, I don't really know who would be our 5th best player, but that is something we will have to find out. We are facing the Lakers at home, in which we were doing a pretty good job. It's a back and forth matchup, but it seems like they're taking a good lead in the 3rd quarter, and in the 4th quarter, it looked like we had fallen asleep, but we're going into overtime versus the Lakers, and we're pretty good at home, and we actually end up beating them. So Harrison Barnes, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 8 for 19. Buddy Hield, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 6 for 11. Joakim Noah, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, a double-double. Azeli, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Beasley, 12 points, 5 rebounds. And Sean Livingston, 6 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 3 for 11. Isaiah Whitehead, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 for 5. And you guys basically see, don't really know exactly what our record is, but we have taken 2 W's in the last 4 or 5 games, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And if you guys want to see more NBA 2K17 MyGM, make sure you guys thumbs up the video and subscribe. And as always, have a great day and night. Stay positive, keep on grinding, keep on smiling. We're 9-15, so I'll catch you all in the next one.